Hey guys, what is up? It is the Glitch Guy here, bringing you another video on how to buy and own the Cargobob in GTA Online after the 1.06 patch. This glitch, I guess you can call it, it is a glitch in fact, will allow you as a person to own and be able to call on the Cargobob from Pegasus. However, you cannot physically buy the Cargobob in-game. It's physically impossible because if you go to the Warstock cash and carry, the only option is to buy the tank and Buzzard at a high level, as well as a few other military vehicles, but they don't physically offer the Cargobob. What's nice about this glitch is that you can keep the Cargobob, but you can also get the tank and the Buzzard at any level. You're not limited to that restriction. The only downside is that you will need the money for these vehicles. The Cargobob costs $185,000 of in-game money. The tank costs its normal $1.5 million, and the Buzzard costs its normal $1.75 million. So you're gonna need that money in-game in order for this glitch to work. Also, for this glitch to work, as you can see me driving in single player right now, is the Vespucci helipad. If you plan on buying the tank to bypass this certain level, you're going to need the airfield hangar. And as you can see now, of course, I'm on the way to the Vespucci helipad. The helipad costs $419,000, and the airfield costs around $1.3 million. So in total, you're down $1.7 million on your characters on single player, and about $2 to $2.5 million in online. So it's a big pocket waster, I guess you can say. But here's me purchasing the actual helipad. You need this to work for the entire glitch itself to work. Without the helipad, you cannot buy the Cargobob. But the one thing I like about this glitch is that although you cannot buy the Cargobob, and although it does spawn, again, if you're higher level than the 22 to 32 level range, you can actually have it and own it, and it'll spawn closer than the airfields. You don't have to drive all the way down there and everything like that. Say you don't want to get all the way to level 70, you can get the tank if you purchase the airfield on single player. If you don't have the money I mean, honestly, you should have the money. You should have about $1.75 to $2 million on single player itself to buy these properties, because if you don't have that much money, you should work on trying to beat the game itself. And if you haven't beat the game itself, then you should. There's multiple methods to get money in the game. You can sell cars. You can boost for missions and stuff like the heists and things like that. That's not really boosting. The final mission gets you roughly $10 million, so you can do that. But anyways, here we have this one tool that you're going to need in order for this to work. It's called the UDP Unicorn. The zip file, actually. It comes in udpunicorn.zip. What you're going to open up, all you need from that is the exe file. So right here you can see I'm editing the 1.2 or 127.0.0 to 27.27.27.27. It's what you're going to need to edit to. Now normally what you're going to do is going to set that to 12 kilobytes, and then you're going to click on the DNS button so that it changes to 27.27.27.27 instead of idle. Another thing you want to do is going to hit the delay and set the delay to 5 milliseconds. As well as once you have this all set up, you're going to want to go to youtube.com/upload, and you're going to upload any video. In case you don't have a YouTube and you don't feel like uploading these videos, you can just increase your packet size from 12 kilobytes. Sorry I jumped really quickly into this because this is all pre-recorded, but as you can see, I'm uploading a 2.3 gigabyte file, so it gives me a time to buffer in case I screw up this glitch, which you can do occasionally. So now you have all these settings. This is how you should have your settings set. You should be able to have the same exact settings, or at least similar settings. Make sure your delay is set to 5 milliseconds. The target is set the same, and the kilobytes are set the same. What you're going to do is, you can see I'm in Michael here, but I was doing the single player to multiplayer glitch for a car. Hover over the store like so in your game, and then you're going to turn on attack. You're going to press attack with those settings that you just saw really quickly. Let it attack for between 1 and 5 seconds, and let it keep going. Now what you're going to really quickly do is press yes and start. So A or X and then start really quickly. Go over to online. Now you're going to hover over it. You're going to keep your attacker on. You're going to press leave. And as you leave GTA Online, it's going to bring you to the PlayStation or Xbox store, whichever one you hovered over before. it's going to sit there and spin, and it should spin for a little while before it returns an error result. So you're going to want it to basically return this error result. There you go. You can't connect. Now you keep your UDP attacker, your UDP unicorn on. It's going to say how much data is sent. It's going to go up a lot, roughly around 50,000 kilobytes by the time you're done with this. It's going to spawn you in, and it's going to do the single player animations. Now normally you'd see like, for instance, Michael in his house or Michael with his wife, as you can see here. But you think you're doing it wrong, but if you look in the bottom right, it says loading. So you're on a good sign here. Sometimes it'll say loading with orange, sometimes it'll say loading with the green, or white, excuse me. And you want to hover over what you want to buy. Now, say we want to buy the Cargobob today, which is what I'm showing you how to buy. You're going to turn off your UDP attacker by hitting stop attack, or stop unicorns. That's actually what it actually says. And you're going to give it 5 to 10 seconds. And if you look in the upper right, it'll see that loading thing on the bottom. It'll slowly begin to stop. If you look in the upper right, there's your online character's money. So with that, you see, oh, well, the Cargobob's still 2.2 million. If you buy it and you see there, it's subtracted $185,000. So right then off the bat, that's how you're gonna basically buy the Pegasus vehicle. You can go ahead and press Y on your phone or B a bunch of times to get out of this option, and it's gonna slowly reconnect to the cloud servers. So say you want to go back to the online match that you were just at, all you would have to do is wait for this to load, of course, and then you would go over to the Xbox or PlayStation game store. Go ahead, open that game store up, let it load all the way to the top, and press B to get out of it. And it's gonna spawn back in, and you're gonna be as Michael. You're gonna be in the multiplayer session. Nobody can see you. You can see everybody unless they're in a vehicle. And now from here, you can actually call Pegasus. To prove that this is working, if you look at the bottom left-hand side, I'm in multiplayer right now. Those were blips from the online characters running around. There are other people themselves, as well as you can't see the yellow special ability. There are the players there. So this is obviously a glitch that's working. If you go in here and you press start and you go into online right here, you can see that the version is 1.06, obviously proving that it is working version. And if we back out here, you can see that you have Michael with all his guns and everything like that. You can really quickly run around, do whatever. You can do whatever you want. You can drop your weapons. That's another thing. If your character's not high enough, you can actually help your friends out by hovering over those weapons and pressing Y. It'll drop weapons like miniguns and things like that. So other online players who, yes, they can't see you, but they can pick up those weapons, and you can give your friends rocket launchers and things like that. So over here, we're going to show you that you can actually call Pegasus now to basically show your Cargobob here. So if you call Pegasus on your phone after doing this correctly, you'll see that once they're finished dialing and you get through, you can have the option to spawn in your Cargobob. If you press A for your $200 or $500 charge, I forget what it was, it'll say minus $500, and then you'll have a little flashing blip on the screen. Most of the time when you order the Cargobob and you call it in from Pegasus, it will put it over by the hospital. If you scroll down using the key menu here, you can see Cargobob as a personal vehicle logo on the map. And if you wanted to drive down there as your online or your single player character in online, you can do that. Or you can also just basically leave the lobby, join a brand new lobby, and this will work perfectly fine. So if I go ahead and leave the lobby, and here I am in a normal lobby, I call Pegasus again, as seen here in my very own adder that I got from the garage. I'm using my normal character to show that this works well. There's the Cargobob there from doing this glitch, and you can drive over to the Cargobob. If you see here, your Cargobob's on the map, right where it was before. Sometimes it spawns at the Vespucci helipad, sometimes it spawns on the hospital and other places. To prove to you that you cannot buy the Cargobob in-game, if you look at the Warstock Cash and Carry, you can see all these other vehicles, and there's no Cargobob there. Cargobob is something you can't buy, you can't order with Pegasus, you can only do on single player, but now you have it on online. So if you drive all the way over to said hospital or said location where your Cargobob is located, again, like I said, sometimes it'll spawn at Vespucci, sometimes it'll spawn over here at the hospital. I've seen it spawn over here 3 times and only at Vespucci once. But there it is on top of the building there. So if you park your car or whatever and you climb up this ladder up here, it's usually the quickest way I've found. I think it's actually the only way to climb up that ladder. Here you can see the personal vehicle logo is right located there, and if you get into your helicopter, it's yours, and you can fly it around, use it like a normal helicopter, take off, do whatever you want it to do with a Cargobob. But this one's yours. You can call this in whenever you want. It's closer, it's located with you, and even though you're not level 22 to 32, you can still have one. I'm level 58. You can't tell right now, but when I bring out the tank, you'll see that I'm level 58 still. So I can't see them. All I see is buzzards now. But say you really wanted a Cargobob to do missions or something like that, you wanted to have your own films and things like that, if you perform this glitch, you can bring in your own Cargobob. And as you see here, as my Cargobob stalls out into the ground, I can jump out like so, and I'll get a little email confirmation from Pegasus telling me that my vehicle has been destroyed. You can hear the little alert there, and you can see that there. So that basically means that you own it. So you can just call Pegasus up for a brand new one. Of course, since you're in the very close vicinity of it, you can't call it in and it won't spawn on top of the hospital. This is the one time that I've ever seen it not spawn on the hospital, is when you're really near the hospital. But see, you can see there's the little confirmation saying, hey, you know, your car just blew up. But really and truly, it's a Cargobob that you can't get in online. So if you go ahead and you get into your car here, and you call up Pegasus again, and you go ahead and spawn in your brand new Chinook, or yeah, it's like the real name for this vehicle is a Chinook, even though it's called a Cargobob. If you call up Pegasus, you can see here, right there on the menu, it's a Cargobob. So you get unlimited Cargobobs. You don't even have to drive down to the airport. You can be whatever level. And that's the Vespucci helipad over there. And you can hear the fire truck in the background putting out the fire that just, of course, happened. So if you drive all the way over to the Vespucci helipad, your Cargobob will be there. It'll be located there. And now, as a higher level that never sees Cargobobs, you have to wait for you don't have to wait for your friend to get on anymore, who's level like 20, to spawn you in Cargobobs. You can do it yourself whenever you want. Another really nice thing about this glitch that I just showed you is that when you use the glitch, you can bring in tanks, you can bring in vehicles that have level limits to them, such as the Buzzard as well. Those are really only the primary vehicles I noticed that require a level, because of course they're so overpowered. And there you can see that you can't spawn in more than one Cargobob at a time, but the Cargobob is yours to use. It has your personal vehicle logo. You can set it so nobody can get in it. It's really, I guess it's a useful glitch in the sense that, yes, you can do all this fun stuff. I'll show you really quickly. We'll cut to a new scene of me in a tank, and obviously you can see here you get the beautiful sunset in the background with the Cargobob and screwing around with it. The tank is a very, very, very useful tool, especially when you're lower levels, because you don't have weapons to defend yourself against all the other people with RPGs, I guess, and just pretty much OP vehicles. So here you can see I have the tank. I didn't bring it in from the army base, because I'll show you in a second me calling and ordering my own vehicle. There I am, level 58. I have a big chunk in my wallet now gone, starting at 3.1 million. Now I'm at 1.74 or 72, excuse me. But this is the working tank. It has the personal vehicle logo, and there's me going ham on these police cars. And as you can see here, here's my tank about to blow up. It blows up, but I can still call Pegasus, and my Rhino Tank will be there. You would use the same method as you bought the Cargobob with, except you would just press B and buy the tank in that menu instead of the, circle on the PlayStation 3. So you know how before we disabled our UDP flutter, we told the unicorns to stop attacking. You can instead hover over the tank option to purchase, and purchase it with your online money. So that is where the tank will always spawn, right outside the Chinese theater. You can go ahead and grab any vehicle you want. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. And go and get your tank. It's always going to spawn over here, no matter where you are on the map. I've called it all the way down at the airport. It spawns over here. I've called it from my $400,000 apartment. It spawns over here. You will always find the tank located right here. Now, if you don't have the money, there are multiple methods to get the money to actually buy these items. You can do store robberies. You can do the character swap, like Los Santos glitches and stuff. But I know a lot of you get really, really pissed off, basically, when these glitches don't work, when the lag doesn't actually work. So in case you get really bored, you get really tired of your UDP not working, go ahead and pick up a hooker and screw around. And you know what? Instead of your UDP not working, you can bring over some friends, have them ruin your fun, and get your hooker all scared, and then be forced to kill her with your gun because, you know, she has your money and didn't complete her services, only to find out that your online buddies came over just to kill you. So now you're down a hooker and a life. Another side effect of doing this glitch is that you find yourself in the middle of gun battles a lot of times when you spawn into brand new lobbies, which is not very fun because dying means losing money and death, of course, itself. So if you guys enjoyed, thanks for watching. Of course, if you need explanations, I'll be here 24/7 explaining. I always respond to comments, and I love seeing comments. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Hope you enjoyed, and leave a like and comment, and yeah.